right now.
Why would you write the lady a ticket?
Because she crashed.
Because she crashed. Do you write everyone a ticket that crashes a vehicle?
Personally, I
do. For what?
What are you doing here right now?
What law?
So here's what needs to happen. You need to go back to your vehicle. Okay?
This is public land.
No, this is a crash scene.
This is a crash scene.
This is the Harran National Forest.
Sir?
I gave her that car. My wife came to get her when it was in the wreck. I drove down here, and I'm just trying to talk. Not being buffaloed or told what I will and won't do.
Nobody's buffaloing you, but you need to go back to your truck.
Yes, I came up talking.
Upset.
Talking. Like grown men do. We all talk. Look at this cat. He's not all spun up and wild.
We are at a crash scene, correct? On the side of the road.
Is anybody injured? No. I asked why the lady is going to get a ticket.
What's your relation to her?
It doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter because if you have zero relation to her, you can go. So you can either willingly go right now back to your truck, or we're going to take you. It's up to you.
Take me for what?
Take you for you're currently in a crash scene.
Have I been here the whole
sir,
time?
I'm not going to debate this right now. I'm not going to debate this right now. So you can either go back to your vehicle, or we're going to forcibly take you back. It's up to you. It's up to you what you want to do. It's up to you. You don't need any answers. You don't get answers. You have no right here. I'm Trooper Grubbs with the Michigan State Police. I belong here. You don't. Go back to your car.
The whole time.
You go back to your car now, or you're going to go under arrest for obstructing and resisting.
Obstructing is a physical act.
Okay. You have no idea.
Standing in our crash scene.
Where's your crash scene in?
Go back to the car now. You've got one more chance to go back to your car now. Go back to your car.
Go to your car.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's load her car up.
That's fine. Go.
You come on too.
Is your car that way? You better get him back to his car, because if he continues
you better not do nothing. First of all.
You know what? You're under arrest.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Please go take him. He's not doing anything.
I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting and you're crazy.
He has bad shoulders, guys.
I'm not resisting and you're crazy. On shoulders that are damaged.
He has
double cuff.
behind my back.
Four guys for asking questions to the state police. For asking questions. That's right. Asking questions. It's okay, Tanya. It's okay. I'm not that big a deal. Just make sure, everybody's just mobbing off.
I didn't know that. See this unit right here on my chest, since you're the only one that's got sense around here? Will you take that off and hand that to my wife? That orange thing right there is $1,000.
We'll get that here in a second.
That's two. You believe that? You need some training, though. Talking. That's what talking gets you in America. Talking. No threats, no physical attack, no nothing. But because you're advocating, you think it's okay to swing folks on the ground.
Do you have anything in your pocket?
I got all kinds of stuff in my pockets. Got a pocket knife.
Okay.
It's in my front right up here. Okay. Not that I've threatened you guys in any way physically. and have no intention to.
Are you good?
On my foot. I was cooking and this all went down. Please. You'll have to take the cuffs off on me and get that off.
Where are you guys taking him to Tawa?
You can just give her the whole game. The whole game.
Just hang tight, ma'am.
Just give him the whole game. It's right there on my arm. Both arms. See that? No weapons. It's a pocket knife. It's in my front right pocket. Can you get it on? No, I think it's in my front right pocket. It might be on my left. Yeah. Yeah, this is my weekend. Yeah. What about Friday weekend? What do you guys want with Trev? I guess you got him good. Sounds good. Yeah. You got the pocket, man. You got the pocket. You got the pocket. Yeah, anything under you got it under. Dog box.
There's a camper shell over it, but the dog box inside of the
Hey, Tony, you just drive my truck home. It's parked on public land up there.
I'll grab one.
Vaughn Road or whatever. Vaughn, I think it's called Vaughn Road.
You got any dogs on you?
Yes, sir, I do. Yes, sir, I do. Not without the handcuffs. I have no fix. Everybody have their body cameras on?
Yes, sir.
Didn't that happen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Perfect.
Have you been drinking this?
Negative. I don't answer questions. Where's the
Over there. Her right now.
I'm going to give her all this. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I don't think you can read that. Coming back.
All right. I'm going to get a bag for this.
No. Her and Mary Dolly the one to take it.
All right, I want to sit you on my front seat.
All
Okay.
right.
You're sitting up there. I got him. Give me a second.
I don't think you're worried about it. Yeah, no problem. Just pull money out of the safe.
You guys know where the driver went?
That guy probably does.
In that car?
I'll come around over there. Alright, ma'am, I have this for you, my information, and then number and flash report. And then unfortunately, we're glad that you're okay, so this isn't as big of a deal. But I have 14 days, I'll give you 14 days to go and pay this. Paid on all the information's right here. But if not, then 14 days to notify the court. Just follow along with that. I'll see all the information. It's for, violation of basic speed law, so because you're going too fast for the road conditions,
it caused an accident, but
So,
fortunately we're happy that you're okay.
so how I explain it to people is I understand that you said you were going 40 miles per hour.
Well, not exactly 40 miles, but I wasn't
Going as fast, so
not as fast.
So the way that I explain it to people is I can be going 5 miles per hour on the roadway, and I can flip over my car and do all this crazy stuff and cause a crash and whatnot, and I can still be cited for violation of basic speed law. It's not cited for the actual speed, it's just you're going too fast for road conditions. Okay? Do you understand that?
Well, what will be the speed then?
You're just going too fast for the road conditions. Like, you see how all these cars got here okay? We all got here okay, so you're just going too fast for the road conditions. So you're just going too fast for the ice on the roadway, and the best way that I can explain it for you is I could be going 5 miles per hour and get into a crash on the roadway, even if the speed limit's 55, even I'm going way under the speed limit, and I can still be wrote for violation of basic speed law.
So how much is this ticket?
I have no idea. So all the court information's down there. So you can just contact the court. The phone number's there and everything. And then you can just call them during their office hours, and then they can explain everything to you. I don't know how much the ticket is. I don't know how many points are on the ticket. And then our name and information is down there at the bottom as well. Okay?
Before we part ways, I'd like to have the name and badge number of all the officers involved.
Yep.
Incident number.
Yep, you will. More than likely, it's going to be 3273. That's going to be the next incident number.
And then I'll be for you and all the body cameras.
Yep, that's fine.
And we'll go from there. How long you been a cop?
310, what's the charge of the Arnold?
April.
Thank you.
How long you been a cop?
Our names and badge numbers will be on the ticket.
We were talking, and then I asked you a question you refused to answer. We're not talking anymore, are we?
Okay. Well, I was getting to that. I was just making sure that, dispatch didn't come through with anything. So I was figuring that.
So how long you been a cop?
Just about 4 years, maybe 5 years now. So.
You know what de-escalation is?
Yep, I sure do.
You got some de-escalation training?
Yep.
Did you do anything to de-escalate?
I sure did.
Did you?
You
think that's on camera?
So I asked you to go back to your vehicle, correct?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I simply tried to talk about a ticket that you're giving a lady that can't afford bread.
Right,
and that's the second ticket that's been given to her by the state police in the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
The last one was for driving too slow.
If you're gonna do this, I can't de-escalate because the citation has nothing to do with you. Fair? So I don't talk about other people's businesses and what I wrote them because it's not any other person's businesses but themselves. Okay, and I do that out of the courtesy of whoever they are. Okay.
And you think she came running up trying to rescue me because she thought she didn't want me to know anything? Okay. You think that's what happened?
Okay.
Common sense.
Okay.
I mentioned this cuff that's cutting my wrist. It's still cutting my wrist for the second time.
Okay. Well, they were tension checked and they were double locked, so they're not going to cinch up on you. Okay. So I can fit my pinky in between there.
I'm just telling you.
Okay. I know. It's not going to be. It's not going to be comfortable or anything like that.
I understand it's not going to be comfortable. Okay. There's a difference between comfortable and cutting into my wrist.
Okay.
think what you done there was reasonable? Speed limit's 45 in town. We're doing 50. I'll answer for you. It was not reasonable for an American citizen on the side of a public road trying to talk to a public servant, getting slammed to the ground, tasered repeatedly. Never once did he offer to strike, attack, or come forward. And those are all things that are going to be on the body cam. And you understand that, right? And then you also understand that you already ran my driver's license, and you know that I've never caused problems, never had an issue.
I never ran your driver's license.
But yeah, I gave you my number, and they ran my name.
Yep,
So
I did when I did when you were in the vehicle.
That's right.
That is correct.
I got a top secret security clearance, so that's also going to tell you that probably not had much trouble. But I tell you what, is going to be trouble. This is going to be trouble.
Where'd you have top secret security?
L3 or DOD, modified
DOD.
aircraft.
Oh, nice. There you go. Awesome. What? I guess I don't know if you can tell me or not, but what kind of aircraft or anything?
Well, I can tell you that. King Airs.
What's that?
King Airs.
King Airs. Nice.
We also modified 747s.
Oh, there you go.
Which is quite obvious, right? That was highly unreasonable on the side of the road in America. Maybe in China. Maybe in Russia. Things like this happen.
Okay, I'm not going to go into it anymore.
I'm just communicating with you. We're just having
fine.
a cordial, consensual conversation.
Okay, when you came up to my window when you're standing out.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna explain my point of view.
Sure.
Okay. So I've seen crashes where people get killed. Okay. You're standing on the side of the road. Okay. You come up to our window. You seem upset. Okay. And you're standing in the middle of the crashing. Okay. And you brought up a ticket that I wrote somebody.
Not you.
I wrote them. Okay.
No,
me and my partner.
Sure. I didn't know. I didn't have.
Exactly. You don't.
Who wrote? All I know is that one officer wrote, and I come and asked to talk to folks.
No, you came to argue.
Did you ask me to? Did you ask me to step away from the window and step off to the side of the road?
I did.
Did I comply?
Yep.
Instantly.
But
yes, I did.
I told you. I told you.
Your buddy comes running up screaming.
He didn't come screaming.
Sure he did.
I told you that the citation has nothing, and then you still wanted to pursue it. Which even if you guys are,
I wanted to explain to you. All I wanted to do was tell you what it is.
And you could have went up.
But
sure.
Instead of
so I'm gonna explain.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna explain something. If you wanted to know why I wrote that person, then go up and ask them. And I explained it to them.
Yeah, she told me. She can barely understand English, but she told me exactly.
Okay, well, whoever else was in the vehicle, they were there too when I was explaining it to her.
Explain it to my wife, but you couldn't explain it to her?
I wasn't specifically explaining that to your wife, but she was sitting in the vehicle.
So what I'm asking is, when I come up and he asked me to step off, first of all, I've been in the crash scene the whole time.
Okay.
Been right there, talking to Josh Watkins.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
That's the guy with the fire department truck that was there.
Okay.
They called. Hey guys, you want to get over here? Wreck.
Well, when you start arguing with us in the middle of the crashing, I'm not going to stand there and argue with somebody on the side of the road. Sure, there's people. Sure, we had part of the road.
Car window if we would have just talked.
I'm not going to have somebody stand out in the middle of the road.
I've been standing in the middle of the road the whole time before I came to talk to you.
Okay.
It wasn't a problem until I came to talk to you.
Okay.
Then it was a problem that I was standing there.
You started to argue with me. You didn't talk to me. You started to argue. Because you were upset that I wrote the citation. Sure?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so being upset and arguing.
And I'm not going to argue with someone in the middle of my crashing. And then I asked you to leave. And you began to walk through the middle of the crash scene. And I asked you to leave to go to your truck, which you refused. And then I asked you again. And then my partner repeatedly asked you just to go back to your truck.
He yelled some things at me.
Yes, to go back to your truck, which you did not. If you would have went back to your truck the first time, then we wouldn't have been.
One more time for the fourth time. This wrist on this cuff on my left hand is cutting across the top of my wrist.
Okay. And I was able to get my pinky in there, okay?
As long as you understand that. I do appreciate double cuffing or whatever you guys done so that my shoulders aren't smashed.
Yep, that's what you were saying, that your shoulder was not okay, so we gave you 2 cuffs.
It was very unreasonable on the side of the road. We will get to the bottom of it through the legal system.
That's fine. That's why we have the court system.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because if that is excessive force on the side of the road in America, nothing is. When a man is speaking, not attacking, not coming at me, not coming forward, not doing anything. I was attacked at that point. Not only attacked by 4 grown men with weapons, I was also tased multiple times, which I'm surprised they don't give you something that shocks harder than that. I'd hate to know I had to take that thing. And I'm being not sarcastic, I'm being honest. The unit that you pulled off from around my neck will shock harder than that. It's not a taser, it's a dog shocker, but it will shock harder than that.
Yeah. Squirrel hunting or something?
9-time world champion.
Nice.
The good thing about all this is I'm retired. I have nothing better to do with my time than follow this through. Well, that squirrel hook. So you know there'll be 200 wrecks on that road you just wrote that lady a ticket on this year.
Again, I'm not going to talk about any other people's business.
I'm not asking you about other people's business. I said you've been on this, area for 4 or 5 years. You know there'll be another 200 wrecks on that road.
Yep, there's a bunch of crashes.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Yep, we cover 4 different counties, so we take crashes all over the place.
Be hard pressed to take them on more of a deadly road than that one. Because of the fact it goes north, south, east, and west, and has trees up to the side of the road. Perfectly clean roads, ice. This is what drives me to think that you're generating revenue and not serving and protecting when you're writing a ticket at an accident.
Again, I'm not going to talk about any other people.
I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm talking about you writing a ticket, generating revenue on a road.
Sir, we don't have
highly deadly. That they should already have salt on.
Am I road commissioner?
No, but you ticket writer, and you wrote the ticket.
Again, you're talking about something specific.
I'm talking about you writing the ticket.
Okay.
Not no one else. I don't need